मज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here in this verse it is explained how Swayambhu Manu, he became very pleased, he was very happy to hear that his son-in-law has given birth not to just one child but two children, one boy and one girl. Because he was thinking, I have already told my son-in-law that I am marrying my daughter on the condition that the son who will be born of this my daughter, you will return it to me. That is, my grandson, you should return it to me so that I will maintain that child. So, there was some hesitation in Swayambhu Manu because he was thinking that if I take away the child, then they will become childless. But then he was very pleased to understand that not only one son is born, along with the son, a daughter is also born. So the son was called Yajna and the daughter was called Dakshina. Now, it is explained who are these two children. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself and the Supreme Lord's eternal consort Lakshmi Devi. Together they have appeared in the same house. Generally, brother and sister are not married. But in this case, it was different. Originally, even though in this Leela, it may appear to be that they were brother and sister, but actually, Mother Lakshmi is eternal consort of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So according to the arrangement of the Lord, Swayambhu Manu took away the son and with the son-in-law the daughter was left, and later on they will be married. That is how this Leela further proceeds. Here in today's verse, Srila Prabhupada is pointing out the very important meaning of this word Yajna. Because the Supreme Lord is now born in the house of his son-in-law to his daughter Akuti, and now he has come to the house of Swayambhu Manu, who is going to raise this child who is none other but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is called Yajna. So Prabhupada is commenting on this word. What is this word? Yajna. Who is addressed in the Vedas as Yajna? What is the meaning of this word Yajna? So these are some of the very important things which Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. Prabhupada is saying, one of Lord's Vishnu's name is Yajna because he is the master of the Vedas. So, the Supreme Lord, he is the master, he is the supreme enjoyer of all the Vedic literatures. Then, in Yajurveda, it is said, Prabhupada is saying, in the Yajurveda, there are different ritualistic prescriptions for performing yajnas, and the beneficiary of all such yajnas is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So Yajurveda specifically talks about Upasana Kanda, wherein there are a lot of yajnas which are prescribed to please different demigods to get the different facilities in this material world. But this is not known to many that all these different yajnas are actually performed for the final satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For those who cannot directly work on behalf of the Supreme Lord, for one who cannot directly surrender to the Supreme Lord, because certain kind of purity is required. Krishna, he demands that one has to be sinless if one wants to worship the Supreme Personality with determination. He is the purest, and to reach the purest, one also has to become purified. So either one can take to the process wherein he can surrender to the Supreme Lord and become purified, or he can take up a process, gradually he will become purified, and then finally maybe after many lifetimes he may surrender to the Supreme Lord. So, there are two ways. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is emphasizing in the end, the best method is just to surrender unto Him. Krishna only has given all these different methods, different dharmas, this subsidiary dharma, secondary dharmas, which lead to the Supreme Lord eventually. They're all given by the Supreme Lord only. But then finally he is emphasizing, better give them up. And just take to the single dharma, surrender unto me alone. See, this is very important. Today's conversation, Prabhupada presents this point very, very beautifully. See, this point is presented by Srila Prabhupada in a way that we can understand it very nicely. Why this recommendation of Krishna, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, is actually very beneficial for all living entities. So, Pushta Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, those who are different modes of nature, they have different types of charity, different types of religion. So does this mean religious, that they are already established in the Vedas? Because in Bhagavad Gita it is described, according to the different natures of people, people follow different faith. People who are in the mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts. People in the mode of passion, they may worship some forefathers, devatas, like that. Right? So different modes of worship is there, different modes of religious practices are there, and it's all given in Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada is saying, this is very important. Prabhupada, that is means conditional religion. All these religious practices are given for people who are conditioned by three modes, and it is very difficult for them to come out of three modes of material nature. Krishna is emphasizing Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. Finally, the goal of all this Vedic literature is to gradually come out of three modes of material nature. And Vedas are practically dealing only with three gunas. So Krishna is telling you have to come above Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. And what are Vedas? Traigunya Vishaya Veda. The subject matter in Vedas is only three gunas. But point is, gradually they will lead to Krishna consciousness. Gradually they will lead to surrender to the Supreme Lord. So they are dharma in conditional stage. So Prabhupada is saying that. That is, means conditional religion. That is not absolute religion. Now absolute religion is mentioned in the end of Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. And Bhagavatam begins with this absolute religion. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Bhagavatam begins with that. Bhagavatam says all these subsidiary dharmas are not there in it. Dharma projita kaitva atra parmo nirmatsaranam satam. Bhagavatam is establishing directly from the beginning absolute dharma. And we find Veda Vyasa actually wrote all the Vedic literature being very kind to all living entities. And he was not satisfied. He was not satisfied. The reason for writing Bhagavatam was that soul cannot be satisfied without glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This conditional dharma will not actually satisfy the soul. They may take us near to the Supreme Lord, but they are not absolute dharma. They will not satisfy the self. So Narada Muni is encouraging Veda Vyasa that you have written all this Vedic literature, you are not satisfied. Do you think your readers will be satisfied? Isn't it? And he is giving example. Let us say, for example, following your dharma, whatever you have prescribed. Somebody has done his duties perfectly. but he has not become God conscious. What is the gain for him? Is there any gain? And then he is saying, let us say for example, I am now encouraging you, you write the glories of the Supreme Lord. Somebody has not understood Krishna consciousness. Somehow or other, sentimentally, somebody has taken to Krishna consciousness. And that too for some time, and he has fallen apart. Narad Muni is saying, is there a loss for him? See how Narad Muni is comparing. That you have given conditional dharma, somebody follows them properly, up to the mark, the goal is to become Krishna conscious. But let us say he does not become. Is there any gain for him? No gain. But whereas, if somebody takes to this paradharma, surrendering to the Supreme Lord, even without knowledge, sentimentally, and later on, he gives it up. He finds, no, better, whatever I was doing was far better. Narad Muni is saying, still there is no loss for him, still there is gain. See? So that is why the Lord is encouraging finally, simply surrender unto me, give up all these things. Isn't it? So in this conversation, very beautifully, how this is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada, how he presents the point in a way which practically is very difficult without realization. It's not possible to understand. In a very simple, very practical way, Prabhupada presents the points very lucidly. So we will see this. This is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada, how he presented the toughest of the subject matter in very simple, understandable way. We were not some great philosophers to understand some great philosophies, isn't it? But in Krishna consciousness, even a newcomer, devotee, he is able to preach about the soul. He is able to preach about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, isn't it? I had read lots of books of so-called big scholars. Nothing would go in my head. What are they talking about? What? Cannot make out nook and corner, anything. What exactly are they talking about? But Srila Prabhupada's books were so easily, beautifully presented, isn't it? So, Prabhupada is saying, that is not absolute religion. In order to what is called summarize all types of religion, Krishna says, Mam vartamanu anuvartate manushyanam partha sarvasaha. Everyone is trying to come to me. So they are coming by different paths. Yes, there is no doubt about it. Gradually, they are all coming to Krishna by different paths. Okay. So this is accepted. Now when he says, I am here, you are coming to me, now you just surrender, then everything is all right. Why don't you accept that? Why do you insist? No, I shall come in a different way, different path. Isn't it? What is this nonsense? God is saying, all right, you have got different path, but give that up. Now simply surrender to me. Where is the objection? If I am a lover of God, God is saying like that, why don't you accept that? Why shall I pay for a different path? And then Prabhupada is giving his one personal example. This is very beautiful. Suppose in this jungle, you are scattered and you are searching, where is Prabhupada? You see, suppose in the jungle, we are lost and then we are searching, where is Srila Prabhupada? Where is Prabhupada? And somebody says, come this way, come this way. And if I say, not that way, come here, come here. What is your objection? Isn't it? What is your objection? Either you don't want me, then everybody laughs. You don't want me. You want to play some whimsical way. So you are not serious about me. If you are actually serious about God, God says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, give up all this nonsense. Just surrender. Why they do not accept it? What is the answer? So this is how Prabhupada presents beautifully. That okay, it is there. In the Vedic literature, different paths are given. But finally, Krishna is also saying that there is something superior. Give up all those inferior religion and simply surrender unto me. This is very important. So, this meaning of this yajna, Prabhupada is explaining that actually everything is meant for satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now here, Prabhupada, he was mentioning, in the Yajurveda, different ritualistic prescriptions for performing yajnas. But if one understands, final beneficiary of this yajna is not this particular devata, it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the beneficiary of all the yajnas. Then actually one becomes intelligent. Vasudevam sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is actually very rare. So, then Prabhupada is explaining another very important concept. Beneficiary of all such yajna is the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yajna arthat karmano anyatra. One should act but perform one's prescribed duty only for the sake of yajna or Vishnu. If one does not act for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if one does not perform devotional service, then there will be reaction to one's all activities. It does not matter if the reaction is good or bad. So, in the Vedic literatures, it is very clearly explained what is the reason the living entities are entangled in the material world. So first of all, we have to understand why the living entities have come here. Why the Supreme Lord has given them this field of activity in the material world. Our real field of activity is spiritual. You see, our real field of activity is spiritual. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, the real habitation where the fish can be happy is in the water. You take fish out of water because that is a natural habitat for the fish, and you give all other facilities to the fish but not the water. There is no question that fish can be happy. Similarly, all living entities are related to the Supreme Lord as part and parcel. We are spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And just like the hand is meant for serving the whole, all the parts are meant for serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is our natural constitutional position. But adharma or glani in dharma begins when we don't want to carry out our natural duty of serving the Supreme Lord. When there is a desire that I want to be the Supreme, I want to be the controller, I want to be the proprietor, I want to be the enjoyer, then Dharma Glani begins. Supreme Lord very kindly provides us this material field and activities. Material nature will give us all whatever is required. Krishna places us in the womb of this material nature, and Mother Nature will give all whatever is required to act in this field. Now when we come to this material world, the Lord has suggested that if you don't want to get entangled, you have come here to enjoy, no doubt about it. But then the Lord has given some kind of facility for us wherein we can enjoy and at the same time slowly become disentangled from these material activities. You see, that is how the Supreme Lord has given these Vedic literatures. So very simple. Whatever is stated in the Vedic literature as what we can do is considered dharma. And whatever is not stated and we do whimsically, it is called adharma. Now, in dharma, it is mostly pious activities. You perform certain kind of yajna and you can be happy in this material world, and gradually you will rise up in your consciousness. That is very gradual. These are all called as punya karma. So living entity can take shelter of these different Vedic instructions. Somebody wants wealth, he can perform a different kind of yajna. Somebody wants good wife, somebody wants good parentage. For all these there is different prescription given in the Vedic literature. If one does that, avoiding the sinful activities, it is possible he can gradually rise. But Shukdev Goswami explains in Bhagavatam, there is no question if somebody is thinking I will do only pious activity, no question of that. One cannot avoid sinful activities in the course of carrying out his material duties. Even if he is very alert not to do sinful activities. You know, there is a saying, even in the royal road, one can meet accident. We have seen example, even the most cautious, even the most charitable kings, they did some mistake and they were penalized. So it's not very easy. If we are thinking that does not matter, I will avoid all sinful activities and I will do only this, whatever is given in the Vedic literature, I will be able to do that. So Prabhupada is giving example. Pancha karmas are mentioned. Every day you have to perform. Because unknowingly also you are doing sinful activity. You are cooking your food. So many insects are burnt in that. Now it was cooked for your pleasure. So who is going to pay for it? Right? It was done for you and your family. So you will be responsible, your family will be responsible. So many insects were killed for that. You are walking to your office. You want to earn money. And you are doing that for what? For you and your family's maintenance. Right? So, whatever living entities are killed when you are walking or when you are driving, all that you will have to suffer. You may be avoiding that I will not kill living entities, I will not do this, I will not. But factually it is not possible. in this material world. Or let us say, even if you are killing a plant, even that is a life. You cannot say that I can survive without killing anyone. There is no question of surviving like that. Jivo jivasya jivanam. That is how the laws of nature is. One cannot eat stone and think that I will not eat any life and I will survive. Either you are eating this life or that life, isn't it? So there is sinful activity involved. And until and unless you perform varieties of prayaschitta karma, you cannot come out of these sinful reactions. Second thing the Vedic literature says, not only this, when you are living in this material world and you are satisfying yourself, your family, you are indebted to so many others. You have taken use of so many different agencies. Who is going to pay for it? You have to pay for them. You are using sunlight, you have to pay for it. You are using electricity. If you don't pay your taxes, if you don't pay your bill, it will be cut off after some time. You are getting water from municipal corporation, you don't pay the tax 1 month, 2 months, after that they will come and they will cut off your line. Isn't it? So similarly, in the material management, there are so many different officers of the Lord. So many people are providing. Rishis have given us certain things. Devas have given us so many things. Dev Rishi, Bhutapta, Nirnam, Pitranam. So many people we are indebted to. You have to satisfy all of them. See how difficult it is. If we are thinking only by karma, I will act and I will slowly, gradually rise to spiritual platform, it is very difficult. It's not very easy. So Krishna is very kind. He has given us the shortcut. Yes, Dev Rishi, Bhutapta, Nirnam, Pitranam, Nayam Kinkaro, Nayam Rinicha Rajan. You don't have to become servant to anyone. Nayam Kinkaro, you don't require to serve any one of them. Narini, neither you will be a debtor to any one of them. Sarvatma Yaha Sharanyam Mukunda. Gato Mukundam Parihartya Kartum. Even if you have given up your karma, your duties, no more you are obligated to any one of them. Simply, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Isn't it? So important to understand. So, I'll just read before I end. Prabhupada explains this very beautifully. All living entities, they are bound up in the material engagement on account of their different kinds of karma. Karmana badhyate jantuhu. There is no question that if you do karma, that you will not be bound. There is no question. You may do punya karma throughout your life, still you are bound. Punya karma, papa karma, whatever you do, you are bound in this material world. According to the Vedas, any karma you do here, you are bound. But then Prabhupada is telling, but here is the point. You shall not be bound by the reaction of your karma if you act on behalf of Yajna or Vishnu. That is the secret. Yajna arthat karmano anyatra. Anyatra, you don't do anything else. Just do your action for the Supreme Lord. You will not be bound by any karma. Isn't it? You cook for the satisfaction of the Lord. You earn for the satisfaction of the Lord. Anyway, you have to do karma. Then when you are cooking on the gas, so many insects may come. Unknowingly. Knowingly we are not doing. Unknowingly. You are going to the office. But if your goal is that by this money I want to satisfy, I want to serve Krishna, you are relieved from that karma. So many insects may be killed. Because the final product of your karma, the hard-earned money, you are utilizing for the service of the Lord. Karma means karma phala. And that karma phala you are offering to the Lord. So you are relieved of that. Isn't it? This is the example. We can see Krishna is telling Arjuna the same thing. Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, he was very, thinking that I am going to do this papa karma. My own, these swajanas, they are not ordinary atatai. Isn't it? They may be atatai, Vedic literature may be telling that atatai should be killed. Prabhupada gives the example. Your son has done something wrong, you go and kill him. You will think, he is my son. He may have done something wrong. Should I kill him? So Arjuna was thinking in so many considerations Arjuna was having. Isn't it? But Krishna clarified to him that you do act for my satisfaction. Just that. No more bondage in any kind of karma. No reactions of anything. Whether external viewpoint it may be considered sinful. External viewpoint. But actually it is not sinful because you are acting on behalf, on the order of the Supreme Lord. Best way to act. We don't bother. It is papa, it is punya. Simply act on the order of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord has not told us you eat meat. We don't eat. If Krishna were to say you eat, we have no such discrimination like that. You see? This is very important to understand. So Krishna, when he is telling Arjuna, you kill, that is highest dharma. It is not adharma. That is what we have to understand. So we'll stop with this. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.